Well, you could call them lost children, the kids from our southern suburbs who have virtually opted out of getting an education. Some find it boring, others lack the discipline, and many don't have the essential parental support. Whatever the reason, they're rejecting the chance to become useful and self-sufficient citizens, as Rodney Lose reports.
They tell us to go to school, and if we don't, there's nothing they can do about it.
Some of those kids, sadly, get into bad company.
I know what laws there is. You can't just walk up to someone and start talking to them. They're under the age of 18.
Don't
Which
tell me.
every
No,
other
you can't.
person in this
No, you
shopping centre
can't.
will probably back me up on this, just like this gentleman is.
And you know it too,
And he will
mate,
take
and you know
photos
it.
to prove that you can't
I'm good
do
with
it.
this, I don't mind.
I'm just trying to find out why she's not at school.
She's not at school because she chooses not to go to school. Why half of the kids
I'm not
sitting
at
around in
school
the green area
because
I'd rather do drugs than alcohol.
The prognosis is not good.
I don't go to school, get the camera on the face.
The research is clear. There's no hesitation in being able to say quite clearly that if you don't intervene at that age level, up to 7, 8 or maybe 9, then that child will move into juvenile delinquency and then later adult offending.
What you are watching is a social tragedy unfolding in front of your eyes. A generation of kids being lost into an uneducated abyss. It's a little after 10 in the morning on a school day. But for these kids, school is something they don't do.
Are you school age?
Yeah.
How come you're not at school?
Because I go to the same schools. I
You
only
got
go one
expelled
day
as
a week. No, I just can't go in any mainstream schools.
They call it the Green Area, an open space outside Colonnade Shopping Centre at Noarlunga. And these are the Green Area kids.
How many kids would come here most days?
About 60 kids just hang in the green area.
They come and go.
Yep.
On any given school day, they can be seen throwing their lives away, doing nothing.
Why do they come here?
Because they're all drop kicks no life and they decide to wag school just to come here.
School might be out at 3 p.m, but every day for an estimated 5,000 South Australian children, it was never in. No school is immune from truancy, but some are suffering more than others, with as many as 1 in 4 school children not showing up. But what you can be sure of is one day they will turn up, and that is to collect a welfare check when they learn they're unemployable.
When you actually go digging, I was amazed to find that about 5,000 students a day on average are effectively truant and out of school, absent, not learning, and sometimes putting themselves at huge risk.
Family First MP Robert Brokenshire believes South Australia is on the cusp of a terrible social epidemic due to children dropping out of school.
It's a concern, it's a very big concern, and my observations are that the government have actually faltered when it comes to addressing this issue, even though we've raised it several times over the last 10 years.
But the government says this: attendance rates have never been higher. Through a strong program of engagement with families, we have delivered a steady reduction in unexplained absences over the past 3 years. We have a system in place which monitors attendance and automatically alerts schools to follow up troubling patterns of absence.
I think the government 5,000 a day it's a bit of a con. I think it's actually sadly higher than that, and it could be even double that. Who really knows, because the figures are disguised in a various number of ways.
And Robert Brokenshire could very well be right, because most of these kids who aren't in school aren't technically truants.
Hey mate, how old are you?
12.
12. How come you're not at school?
Because I go on Wednesdays.
Right, you only go 1 day a week?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've got
cool.
to do re-engage.
Most of them are in programs that require them to barely attend school at all, some as little as an hour a week. It keeps troublemakers out of school and the statistics down. All the while, schools can keep their funding based on enrolment numbers.
You know, maybe the question shouldn't be why kids aren't at school and why there's so much bullying and corruption, because that's part of the reason kids aren't at school.
Frankly, if you only have to go to school for 1 hour a week, you've got to question the program.
Common sense would prevail to suggest that 1 hour a week is hardly scratching the surface for any of us.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Darryl has grave doubts about the efficacy of these programs and worries for many kids it may be too late. We've lost them.
If government and bureaucracies and departments and the general community are serious about our young people, and I mean serious, then what we're going to look at are early intervention programs up to the age of about 7, 8, 9. I think the Jesuits had it fairly well right when they said, give me a child until he's 7 and I'll show you the person.
Robert Brokenshire agrees and says the Colonnade situation shows we are failing our children.
Let's look at it more broadly. Let's look at more truancy officers. Let's look at the technology that is available today. Some of it actually developed in South Australia. Let's look at best practice and how we can actually capitalise.
He's talking about this.
We have an automated SMS notification system that over 1,150 schools around the country use, and it intelligently and automatically notifies parents if their child hasn't arrived at school and no explanation has been provided. The message normally asks the parent for an explanation, and in some cases the parents can actually tap on the message and the phone will flip into a map and show them where their child is.
Mark Fortunatau and his team at MGM Wireless here in Adelaide developed the system. It's now used in schools across Australia, New Zealand and the United States. The Western Australian government provides it to all schools in WA, and they are seeing a huge drop in truancy.
So when you first sign up a school, do you notice that basically there's a trajectory that you're sending a high amount when you first sign them up and it drops off dramatically?
It drops dramatically in the first 8 to 10 weeks, normally by about 60%.
Another program that's having an impact on truancy, especially in Adelaide's north, is Youth Opportunities.
There's a whole range of reasons. Kids get disengaged. It might be lack of support from home. It might be lack of self-esteem and confidence when they attend school. So there's a number of issues that these kids have at 15 and 16. We believe we can turn around. We've got highly qualified trainers that take these kids through a program and teach them skills like self-esteem and self-confidence and get them re-engaged with life.
We went looking for truant children in Elizabeth and Salisbury and struggled to find them. Youth Opportunities CEO Peter Carey says they won't take all the credit for the results, but believe their program is having an impact, and it's not too late for the Colonnades kids.
They're absolutely not beyond saving. That's exactly the age group we work with. We work with 15 and 16-year-olds in Year 10, both in southern areas but predominantly in the northern areas. And these kids become re-engaged after doing our program. Their grades improve, their going to school improves, their relationships with family and teachers improve. So certainly not. They are still very much able to be helped.
They just need better role models than this lot.